We have Apple, and I had a little problem with Tim Cook. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. You couldn't do business in India. Now you got to build us. We're not interested in you building in India.
In an exclusive interview you will see only on CBS this morning, we always like when that happens, we spoke with Apple CEO Tim Cook about the aftermath of the assault. We talked about the attack and asked him what he thinks.
I think it's key that people be held accountable for it. This is not something that should skate. This is something that we've got to be very serious about and understand, and then we need to move forward.
Breaking news is coming. Apple CEO just fed up with Trump's tariff and Trump's terror on Apple. Tim Cook has openly said he is not happy with Trump's decision, and it's making it very hard for him and Apple in terms of doing business in America. So Apple is planning to leave America, and they are right now searching for alternative places to build factories and do business from there.
In an exclusive interview you will see only on CBS this morning, we always like when that happens, we spoke with Apple CEO Tim Cook about the aftermath of the assault. We talked about the attack and asked him what he thinks.
I think it's key that people be held accountable for it. This is not something that should skate. This is something that we've got to be very serious about and understand, and then we need to move forward.
Do you think President Trump should be held accountable for it? There's a whole discussion about that even as we sit here today.
I think no one is above the law. I mean, that's a great thing about our country. We're a rule of law country. I think everyone that had a part in it needs to be held accountable.
We're all told this as a little kid. There are consequences to your actions, but I don't know how we just let this go.
I would agree. I don't think we should let it go. I think holding people accountable is important.
But Donald Trump is not happy with the decision. Trump just released a new statement a few hours ago where he stated Tim Cook as a friend and reminded Tim Cook how he behaved very well with him before, and Trump is not happy at all in terms of Apple leaving America.
We have Apple, as you know, it's coming in, and I had a little problem with Tim Cook yesterday. I said to him, Tim, you're my friend, I treated you very good. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. I don't want you building in India. You can build in India if you want to take care of India, because India is one of the highest tariff nations in the world. It's very hard to sell into India, and they've offered us a deal where basically they're willing to literally charge us no tariff. You couldn't do business in India. We're not even a top 30 in India because the tariff is so high. But I said to Tim, Tim, look, we've treated you, we put up with all the plants that you built in China for years. Now you got to build us. We're not interested in you building in India.
The way Trump warned him, Tim Cook didn't care about Trump's cold threats. He stated publicly that before Apple decided to leave America, Tim Cook had advised several things which could benefit billions of dollars to America and its citizens. But Tim said Trump refused to accept those. And he admitted, if someone doesn't think for the country, we are not interested to work with them.
You've been engaged with this White House. You called President Trump and urged him not to pull out of Paris.
I did, yes.
He didn't listen.
I think he did listen to me. He didn't decide what I wanted him to decide. I think he decided wrong. I think it's not good, not in the best interest of the United States, what he decided. My view is that first and foremost, things are about, can you help your country? And if you can help your country and you do that by interacting, then you do it.
So you are leaving.
After that, when Trump saw that it was getting out of hand, and if Trump loses a company like Apple from the United States, it will be like thousands of billions of dollars going to another country, Trump invited Tim Cook to the White House. And guess what? He thanked him for promising that Apple would invest $200 billion in America. But later on, Trump insulted him by calling him Tim Apple instead of Tim Cook.
You really have. I mean, you've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
That's the president calling Apple CEO Tim Cook Tim Apple. Never mind, there's a name placard right in front that says Tim Cook. But still, he's apparently Tim Apple. Hey man, you gotta think Cook's happy about that.
This hurt Tim Cook and his image. So Tim Cook just made the major decision that Trump is not taking Apple seriously. Nor is Trump taking United States companies and people's financial conditions seriously because of the tariffs. So Tim Cook and Apple are right now planning to invest $200 billion cash to form factories and assembly plants for Apple products in another country.
Apple has roughly $260 billion of cash, more or less. What do you intend to do with that cash?
We're going to create a new site. We're going to hire 20,000 people, and we're going to spend $30 billion. We're investing. We're also going to buy some of our stock because we view our stock as a good value.
Not just Tim. Many people have openly criticized Trump's behavior with Apple and Tim Cook.
Donald Trump's red light, green light tariffs mean higher prices and economic pain for American families. And now it looks like Trump and his buddies could actually be profiting profiting personally off that pain. When the president first announced massive tariffs on virtually every country and every product, he said there would be no exceptions. Then Trump said he, quote, helped Apple CEO Tim Cook. Really? Turns out, after Trump announced the latest round of tariffs on China, which would affect all kinds of Apple products, Tim Cook was behind the scenes.
And not just that, Trump even made a statement directly that people should not use Apple products.
Donald Trump, the lead Republican, he said we need to boycott Apple. You have no idea how much that terrified me. That someone who probably will be the Republican frontrunner has zero understanding by saying, hey, Apple should do this, which puts America at enormous national risk.
Like, can you imagine? After getting this much humiliation, which company would want to stay in America? Let us know your thoughts and opinions at whatever Trump is doing in the name of tariffs. Is it okay or not? Do you support Trump's actions? Let me know in the comments. Tim Cook has strongly stood against Trump's decisions on many things. He said, "We are not going to listen to everything Trump tries to push us to use. We hold the right to refuse many things that don't go well for Apple and the American people. It doesn't matter if our stock prices go up or down because of that."
Apple's chief, Tim Cook, he clearly opposes the president. Talking about his immigration order, here's the statement from Tim Cook. "If we stand and say nothing, it's as if we're agreeing. Apple wouldn't exist without immigration. We stand up. We don't sit in silence. Steve, as in Steve Jobs, was the son of an immigrant." Scott Martin joins us now, market watcher. This kind of position taking by Apple, does it make you not want to buy Apple stock?
Well, Stuart, unfortunately, I think you have to buy Apple stock here because their products are still pretty good. I mean, we're all addicted to them, but it's not unlike Apple. I remember, a few months ago, a year ago, when they wouldn't unlock the iPhones for the FBI, for some of the criminals. They've taken these positions against the government on a political stance just to kind of stand alone and maybe pander to what they think is their strongest customer base, but it's anti-American in my opinion.
In this video, if you can see, when Tim Cook visited Trump, he tried his best to convince Trump about what could be good for America and also for Apple. But Trump seemed not very interested. Even though Trump promised him that he would think about it, later on Tim Cook said Trump didn't stay true to his word, so Apple has to think about moving from America.
U.S. should have the most modern government in the world, and today it doesn't. And it's great to see the effort that Jared is putting in working on things that will pay back in 5 and 10 and 20 years. The government should be focused on its citizens. The services of the government should be measured on how pleased the citizens are with receiving those services. That basic premise is not how it's done. And so I would really encourage you to ask the cabinet how they're measuring their parts of government and what they're doing to serve the citizens that they're meant to do. Secondly, totally unrelated, but something I feel very passionate about, we're trying to do our part, or hopefully more than our part in doing that. But I think leadership from government is also key.
And then Tim Cook spoke out against Trump, saying China is doing great in terms of so many things for their people, but America couldn't do it. This statement shocked the world immediately.
China's done an unbelievable job of lifting people out of poverty. They've done an incredible job, I mean, far beyond what any country has done. We were talking about mid-90s to today. The biggest change is the number of people that have been pulled out of poverty by far, and we should all applaud that, and we should all feel good about it. And so there are, in the environmental leadership today is very clear, and it aligns completely with Apple's values.
The Chinese environmental leadership, government.
Yes, I mean, they're very fixated on doing the right things. This is something that means a lot to us as well. And so what we always try to do is find the areas where you can work together.
So if Trump keeps doing things like this without caring about big and small companies, without thinking about the people, America's economy will crash very soon. And soon people will also regret heavily voting for Trump. Guys, do you agree with everything that Trump is doing in terms of adding high tariffs? Do you support Trump, or do you think Trump should be more careful in terms of making big decisions that should benefit Americans, not cause loss?